Picture this. You're sitting on your couch, thumbing through YouTube, and you run across a video by David Hanson, and it entirely changes everything you thought about the Democrat Party. Today's video, I'm going to share that with you. Before we get started, hit the like and subscribe button, thumbs up, and we are going to break down Davis Hanson's video as he reveals the entire sinister plan of the Democrat Party to destroy Trump, Elon Musk, and your American way of life.
Hello, this is Davis Hanson for the Daily Signal. I want to apologize to you. I have been writing columns and have suggested to you in these videos that the Democrats didn't have an agenda. In other words, they were just nihilists. But I went back and looked at everything they've said, everything they've written, what their surrogates and the media have done, and I discovered they do have a counter agenda. They really do. And it's organized. And I want to give it a fair hearing right now. So I wrote down 10 things that I think are thematic of the Democratic agenda that offers an alternative to Donald Trump. The first is that Donald Trump must be considered, as Chris Matthews just said, a Mussolini-like figure. He must be opposed in every aspect. He must be demonized. Everything he does is evil. And by extension, the same is true of Elon Musk. You must consider him an alien that should go back home to South Africa.
I mean, we're seeing this in real time. Donald Trump could cure cancer. The Democrat Party would hate him. Elon Musk could rescue astronauts from outer space that were abandoned by Joe Biden, and the Democrat Party would hate him. Oh, wait, he did that. He actually did that.
That he's not a true American. He's only been here 23 years. You cannot talk about his Tesla revolution that pretty much saved the idea of an electric vehicle. You cannot talk about the successes of SpaceX. You cannot talk about saving social media by opening up and getting the government out, i.e. the FBI colluding with the old Twitter. You cannot talk about giving free internet service to Ukraine. He's evil, and everything he does must be opposed. And we must continue that to the point where he is depersonalized. The second thing I've noticed very quickly is ICE is wrong. You have to stop ICE from deporting anybody, even if they're a criminal. Open borders are completely normal. We let in 12 million people under Joe Biden. We have no apologies whatsoever. No major Democrat has come forward and said we made a mistake. We've overloaded communities.
Democrats are really good at sticking together. Nancy Pelosi taught them that over the last, 200 years that she's been in office. But Democrats will never admit they were wrong. Never. They will never come out and say, we got it wrong. And that's what's happening now. Joe Biden is not allowed to say that he basically destroyed our border by allowing over 12 million. I would say probably more than that. And if you do anything untowards the southern border and goes against any policy of Joe Biden, you're wrong. You're Schmittler. You're Mussolini. You're Genghis Khan. You're Dracula. That's Trump.
Like the San Joaquin Valley or the Rio Grande Valley or the inner city, it's cost us perhaps $1 trillion in social costs. We apologize. No, everything about open borders was wonderful, and we will try as Democrats as much as we can to stop ICE from deporting even criminals. Sanctuary cities are immune, 600 of them. Radical Palestinians are to be favored over Israel. We see that with the controversy over Mahmoud Khalil. We in the Democratic Party feel that Israel is a settler country. Now, this is the only issue that the majority of Democrats are clearly for. About 70%, 65% of Democrats favor the Palestinian cause. So there's no ambiguity about it now. Democrats feel that Israel is the culprit, and if there's anti-Semitism on campus, it's sporadic or it's done by people other than the pro-Hamas green card holder or student visa holder.
You're seeing that right now. There's a lot of people online. There's a lot of influencers. There's a lot of people on YouTube, Twitter, various platforms that I believe are participating in a psyop for the Democrat Party. They have got caught up in this. They have got caught up in it. And there's no in between. You're either pro Israel or you're pro ham sandwich. There is nothing in between. I myself don't want to send another penny to another country until, I don't know, the worst little town in Arkansas looks like Dubai. But the Democrat Party, along with these psyoped Democrats, and some are radicalized Republicans, you fall in line or you are all out. We've seen it with the kids losing the appendages. That's just the way it is. We've seen it with the Ukraine war. If you're not 100% into giving your entire savings, your entire wallet, granny's purse to Ukraine, you love Putin. That's what we're seeing, guys.
There should be no cuts. No cuts in the federal government. We have a $1.7 trillion deficit. Joe Biden probably racked up $7 to $8 trillion in additional debt, but 36 trillion is no problem. We're not going to discuss it. All we know is there should be no layoffs. Everything that USAID was funding was fine, and the federal government was running perfectly until Donald Trump came. There was no abuse, fraud, anything. We have never talked about fraud and abuse in recent years, and there was a reason why. We're perfectly happy with these massive deficits.
The Democrat Party is more concerned with Elon Musk and Trump's agenda, his cabinet finding the fraud, than they are about who's receiving the money. Think about it like this. You've got a store. You sell some widgets. You've got security cameras. Someone is stealing from you on a nightly basis, and your security cameras pick up the images, but you can't tell who it is. So you call in this guy that's got some software, got some friends, maybe some special glasses that can see who is stealing. He points out who is stealing from you, and then you're mad at him for telling you who is stealing. That is the best way to break down what is occurring with Doge, the Democrat Party, and this exposure of theft. That's the simplest and clearest way. You're mad at the guy pointing out who is stealing rather than the thieves.
Ukraine, Donald Trump with his art of the deal antics, threatening to cutting off, restoring aid to Ukraine. It's a mess. We have to go back to the Biden approach. We'll do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. So we need to up the amount of aid, maybe $3 or $4 or $500 billion to Ukraine, and enable it to defeat Russia. And if that costs 2 or 3 million casualties, we don't care. We offered no alternative ceasefire plan, no strategic resolution, nothing other than to feed the Ukrainians, to defeat Vladimir Putin, and bleed out the Russian military forces, even if it takes the last Ukrainian to do so. DEI should have never been cut out.
This is the one that really gets me. Martin Luther King said he wanted people judged by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. DEI goes against everything. It removes merit-based employment, merit-based promotions. How many of you want a heart surgeon that couldn't make it as a log trimmer, a tree surgeon? Just put him straight into the heart category. That's what this is. I want the best guy, best girl, best person doing the job. I don't want anything on the form to give preferential treatment to the color of skin, gender, what kind of lifestyle they've got outside of work. I believe removing these gender, race-based categories on college admissions would improve education.
We still have to emphasize that we are a country of white rage, white privilege, white supremacy, and we in the Democratic Party will find ways to work around these executive orders. But maybe we will have to reclassify the titles of diversity, equity, inclusion officers, but we will not give up on it. We had a recent air traffic controller supervisor who was leaking the test questions to DEI applicants. This is the type of activity we endorse.
How many of you want a air traffic controller that couldn't pass the test? Think about that the next time you go get on some airplane.
We have to be much more radical in our opposition. So when Donald Trump speaks before Congress, we must shout him down. Al Green is an iconic hero. Most of us refused to censor him. He shook his cane and disrupted Congress. That's good. Jasmine Crockett is the new spokesman of the Democratic Party.
Correct.
And in association with that, also, it's very important for us to use the F word, the SHI blank word, the DICK word. We're going to make videos where we use this profanity. We're going to shout out that in Congress. The point is that to appeal to the lost middle class supporter, we have to sound earthy, and we plan on doing that. And finally,
how many of you have ran across this? People that will shout you down and insult you rather than debate you. They just disparage and degrade rather than debate. We've seen this. We've seen it. You have experienced it.
We've got to create chaos. So anything Donald Trump, as I said, anything that Elon Musk does, any cabinet members' initiatives, we have to go hysterical. And the point is this: we prefer slow decline. We understand we had $36 trillion in debt. We understand we were running a $1 trillion trade deficit. We understand our military was shrinking. We understand that we were investing over $1 trillion in a Commissar like DEI. I could go on. But that was a slow decline. It wasn't controversial. With the open border, yes, it was open, but there was no hysteria. We just let in 12 million people illegally. We even flew them in at night, so it wouldn't bother you. So,
guys, Victor Davis Hanson lays out 10 points of the way that the Democrat Party has controlled you and the way that they are destroying America. You heard it directly from Victor Davis Hanson, an absolute amazing scholar. Thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate you. Keep your eyes peeled. Stay alert. Stay vigilant. This is the Vet Biker. I'm going to get you out of here. Take care.